Now, I'm happy tonight to introduce you to Jason Riley. He is the CEO of GIG Trust, which controls the bank side of things, and not that the GIG, not just GIG CFI, but banks. And he was instrumental and the pioneer in South Africa to bring the Mambu software banking system to the cooperative industry in South Africa. So at the time that we started, none of this was available, and most CFIs operated from an Excel spreadsheet. Slowly but surely, since we've brought in Mambu, more and more people are moving on to Mambu. So it's a very well-recognized program. And I think there's one of the commercial banks, Time, if I'm not mistaken, that also uses Mambu software for their official bank products. So the good news is because of the Legacy Coach program, Jason then went and he adjusted some of the stuff in the program so that we could now help and give each of our legacy coaches access to their legacy group or legacy coach group, so that we can start taking pressure off the back office when a lot of people just wants to know how much money do I have in my accounts and when will I finish paying off my loans and basic stuff. But then it takes a lot of time from the back office people. And we want to bring that back onto the legacy coaches so that you are the first go-to person in your team that can answer these questions. So without any further ado, Jason, over to you to tell us how do we as legacy coaches get involved with Mambu and what are the rules and do's and don'ts. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasper. I just want to confirm you can see my screen share with the Mambu screen.
Yes, we see now Mambu username password.
Okay, good. So welcome to everyone. I don't think we will be very busy this evening. So what you are seeing here is a mirror image of the live or the real Mambu site, but we use this site for testing. So it is it is called, or what is known as, a sandbox. So for demonstration purposes, I'm using the sandbox. So the names, the information, the financial information you will see tonight is all, it's not real information. This is just to use as an example so that you can understand how to navigate the system. So you've already been set up on the live system to be able to see your direct members, and after the training from tomorrow onwards, I will send you the correct link to go onto the banking platform online with a username and then a temporary password. So just to quickly explain, if you ever forget your password, you'll see here in light gray is a little sentence that says lost your password. So you can actually just click on that and put in your email, the same email that you've registered at GIG, and then a link will be sent to you to reset your password. So in any case, every 90 days, the system will prompt you to choose a new password. So this was a requirement from the Reserve Bank. You know, sometimes people give out passwords which one is not supposed to do. So that's one reason why the system will prompt you every 90 days to also change your password. So this evening, I'm going to use as an example one of our founding members, known to many of you, Muzi Kubeka, as an example, as a legacy coach, but this is not his real member. So Muzi, don't have a fright if you see some strange names and strange data. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like the very first time you log on. So the password in this case, I've set all of you up with a temporary password, and the password is password1234. I'll email that to you. I'm going to type it in now, and I'm going to log in, and then it's going to prompt me to create a new password. Okay, you can see here it says password, confirm password. So I'm just going to create a password, and I'm going to change it. So you're going to do this action once. Okay, I've changed it, and now I'm going to log on with my new password. Okay, so the system is cloud-based. I've tested it deep in the bush. I've been able to use a GPRS cell phone signal to be able to access the system. It's just a bit slower, but you don't need a very strong internet signal to access the system. Okay, so here's Muzi's landing page. You can see here on the left-hand side what action has taken place on his profile. Here it says loan link share loan with the number is now in arrears for member Tabut Lamini. Here's some data that was changed. It shows the user that changed the data, and one can now just scroll down and see what, just on the landing page, what activity has been taking place on your members. Then on the right hand side, you'll see a section here, your tasks. We might use it, we might not. So let's say the back office wants to bring something under your attention as a wealth coach. So let's say member Vladimir Rasputin needs help with his 12-month action plan. So maybe Karen or Charlotte got an email from this member. Then this task will be linked directly to this member, Vladimir Rasputin. And we have a record of it. If it's open, once it's done, likewise, you will be able to use this functionality to communicate with the back office if need be. We find it useful because then we have a record of when notice deposits matures or certain transactions took place. It cannot be deleted. It's all on the member's file. I'm going to scroll a bit down. Then we can see all Muzi's members. Also, it will show you upcoming repayments on loans, but that's not so important. What I want to show you is how to navigate a member's profile. So I'm gonna click here on, let's go on Nathan Moodley. Now, the good thing about how this has been set up is you will not be able to change any data. So you won't be able to change or add any transaction information or change personal data. The way it's set up, you only have viewing rights and you can only see your direct members. So when you are on the members page, okay, at the top you'll see the name, and then it will give you an overview. You'll see these tabs where you can click on, but the first one, the default will be overview, so we can see this member has got 2 loans, a loan link share basic account. So it shows you here the type, deposit, loan, then the status, so we can see an active loan link share basic, active loan link share loan, and then a loan that's pending approval. And then you can see that this member of Muzi basically owes the CFI a net amount of 38,000 Rand. Under general, you'll see the member's GIG number, when their account was opened. So this will help you. Let's say your member wants a 36-month loan. Well, then our rule is your loan repayment period is equal or shorter than for how long you've actively been a member. So we can see this is quite an old member. He's already is going on to his 6th year already. So that is important to see when the membership was opened. You can see who the legacy coach is, his status active. You can see the birth date, telephone numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, how many loans this member has had previously. There's a whole lot of data you can see here, but you will focus mainly on the transactional data and then the closed accounts data. So let's start off with the deposit account. So you can either click here on any of the blue fields, either here where my mouse is or here at the top tab. So I'm just going to click here on the top tab, Loan Link Share Basic Account 5022. And then you'll see some mini tabs below it. So the details of the account, transactions, activity, attachments, comments. So on the details, we can see this member's total balance, 112,380 Rand, available balance, 280 Rand. So there is some funds that are locked for the current loan. You can also see when it was opened, and then transactions. So this is helpful with loan planning. If you see, for example, a member, okay, so in this case, this person seems to have made a lump sum, a big lump sum investment at some stage. Let me go to 200 transactions. I'm quickly scrolling down. So this member is not really contributing new funds each month. He's earning some sponsor commission. His fees are going off, but I see the last time he contributed was in 2017 that he made new deposits. Okay, so some members do have the saving pattern. They just make a big lump sum and nothing thereafter. And some people save the same amount each month. But let's say this was the most recent history. I can see, okay, at one stage he was saving over 6,000 Rand a month, and then it went down to 2,000 Rand. So this gives me an idea of this member's ability to repay a loan. So, for example, if your member is saving 200 Rand a month, but only every third month, so let's say, 2 debit orders fail and then the third one is successful, it maybe gives you an indication of your members' repayment ability. Maybe they are then in a struggle phase where they are not being able to get a budget surplus, so they're not necessarily able to honor their savings debit order each month. So this tells you a story. This specific case is quite unique because this person made big lump sums at some stage, but around about 2017 he stopped adding additional new funds. Okay, so that's the transaction history. Activity, you should be able to see what has been happening on this account. Some fields you won't be able to access, like attachments. You see it says permission denied, and comments will also be permission denied. So sometimes there's communication between the back office and the member, or the credit committee and the member, that is private, so you won't be able to access these comment fields. Let's quickly have a look at a loan. So here's an existing loan. It's got a green button, which means it's active. you'll be able to see when it was activated last year, October. Original loan amount 224,000 Rand over 56 months. How much principal has been repaid, what is outstanding, 141,000 Rand. You'll be able to see the schedule of when the next amount is due, and then the actual transactions that has taken place on the loan. Activity, once again, you can see some data there. Comments, you won't be able to see anything. Something that might help you is the closed account section. So I'm going to click on that. Then you can see this member has an on-time repayment of 85%, which is not too bad. But something that's interesting in this case is the loan amount actually decreased. First loan was 340,000 Rand, second one 280,000 Rand. Usually the trend is the other way around. You'll see, okay, first the member borrowed 10,000 Rand, then 2 years later 30,000 Rand, another year later 60,000 Rand. So this is interesting. It also might tell a story that this member's repayment ability has been declining. If we also look at his savings history, the last time he added new funds was in 2017. This is quite a good indicator to show you if your member is able to actually repay a new loan based on their previous history. Okay, and then you also see here's a loan that's pending approval. Once again, you can see things like the loan amount, the interest rate applicable, the term. And then I'm just going to go to tasks. So we can see here was a task created by myself for Muzi, saying that the member is interested in a peer-to-peer loan. And we see Charlotte was doing something here to reload a debit order at some stage. If you click on this little button here, you can actually go to closed or completed actions. So things the back office has done since 2015, debit orders that were amended, repayment or disbursement of loans, various actions that were taken by the back office. Okay, I'm jumping again to the dashboard. Now, you can find your members in this section here at the bottom right-hand side of the corner. Or if you want a bird's overview of all your members, you can go here to the stock menu on the left-hand side and just say all members. Then it's going to give you a view of all your members like this. Now we are making a recording, so I'm going to give you quite a bit of information. So I want to show you, let's say you want to mine your data and there's a number of things you can do, but let's say you just want to quickly get the cell phone numbers of all your members. So these are the default columns: the full name, the GIG ID, member state. So just to explain member state quickly, active, as it says, is when the member is active. Inactive is when they've never actually made a deposit. Exited is where a member has become dormant. And blacklisted is when a member actually owes the CFI money. So they went through the whole collections process and some monies were written off. So just to show you how to, for example, get a cell phone number in this list, you go here to the top right hand side where it says edit columns. You just click on it, and then you'll see here it shows available columns. So you can get the address, things like the birth date. Let's say you've got 200 members, and some legacy coaches have that amount of members. And let's say there's rising interest rates, and I personally expect this is going to happen in the future, and you want to sort your members that are, let's say, over the age of 60 years old. You know, you want to give them advice. Let's say our deposit rates are higher than what the commercial banks are offering. Now, instead of going through member by member, you can actually filter just by using their birth date. So I'm going to put birth date in, and I'm going to put mobile number in because I want to actually filter this data. And I'm going to say apply changes. Now it gave me the mobile number and the birth date. Then you can go and actually create an Excel spreadsheet. Here where the little hand is, there's a small icon, Excel icon, and it's gonna download that data. Now I must just quickly open that Excel spreadsheet. Can you still see my screen with the Excel spreadsheet?
We still just see your back screen, Jason.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Let me just quickly do a new screen share here. Okay, you should be able to see it now. Okay, and then just by using your normal filtering function on Excel, you should be able to then filter your data. So I'm going to say from oldest to youngest. So there we start someone born in 1901 and 1948. So then you can go and filter and say, okay, I'm only interested in everyone born 1941, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I've only got one person here in this case. But if you have a big database, then you can just focus on the names that you want to focus on. You've got the cell phone number. So this is just to give you an idea of how one would use data like that. Let me just go back to Mambu. You can do this. So there's many fields there. There's a lot of things you can add. I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's a lot of information. You might probably use the, let's say, the loans and the deposits menu more often. So just going to click on all loan accounts. So it's going to then give all your member loans past and present. So here I've got actually 53 loans. Now you can go and filter them. Let's say you are not interested in the closed loans, you just want the active loans. Then you can go filter, custom filter, and then play around. This is the main thing. I can't show you every function, but just play around. So I'm going to look at account state, and I just want to see active, or maybe you want to see pending approval. Which one of your members, and we have one there, Nathan Moodley. Or I want to see all my active loans. You can also say active or in arrears. You can do more than one filtering. Okay, I've got one loan in arrears and 3 active loans. Once again, you can edit these columns. let's say I want to see how much, what is the principal balance, how much is due, or not due, how much is outstanding. So I can see Tabut Lamini original loan amount, 129,600 Rand, outstanding 105,000 Rand, or Joyce, original amount 210,000 Rand. She only still owes 3,500 Rand. So I know that most probably she would want to take out a loan very, very soon. So it might be good for Muzi then to make contact with Joyce. Nathan, he's about halfway there. Sarah, yeah, she has also still got quite an amount outstanding. Likewise, you can do the same with deposits. And you can then filter. Here it's just giving you everything: loan and share, wealth holders, super saves, notice accounts. All of this data is not relevant, so I just want let's say the active accounts, and let's say I want to see all my loan and share accounts. I'm going to do the GIG Club Classic. It's a 60 Rand a month, and the wealth folder. You can add more filters, but I just want to use these two. I'm applying it. Okay, let me just quickly go back there. That can't be the only one. Loan and share classic, sorry. Go. Okay, there we go. So I've got 7 accounts here. I can quickly total them up. So just for interest's sake, I'm going to edit columns and say include totals. So if I do that, I can see that my members in their loan and share accounts have got a total of 312,000 Rand. So at the current 2 times leveraging, they should be able to borrow about 625,000 Rand. If I then look at my actual active loans, I see I'm quite close to capacity. But maybe if they were only, well, this was original loans granted. I'm going to edit this column again and just say principal outstanding. I see I've got an outstanding 212,000 Rand. So technically or potentially my members still have capacity to borrow up to an additional 400,000 Rand. So I can actually work with them and encourage them to grow the loan book. Okay, so I'm going to jump back to dashboard. So you can get to your information on multiple views. You can use these menus here. You can use your members here in the bottom right-hand corner, or let's say you struggle to pick up a member, you can use this search field here. And you can put in a surname, you can put in a gig number, an ID number. I just can't use an ID number now because this is all fake data, but let's say I want to see Paul. There I see it gives me that member. So if you quickly want to find someone, you just use the search field here. Like I said, you please experiment and play on the system because you can't change any data. For example, let's say I go to loan transactions, repaying, let's say loans repayable in the month. I can't upload or process anything here. Same with deposit collections. There's nothing I can change here. I can try. So I'm going to put in 500 Rand here for John Doe, but there's no button to actually action what I'm trying to do here. So something you might use also is the products menu if you quickly want to see what is the current interest rate, but it should also be on the gig.coop website. So if you could quickly want to see interest rates on products, you can use that menu button there. Accounting won't give you any access. It will just say permission denied. Administration will also just give you permission denied. There's some information like interest rates that you might need to use. So let's say a member says, why am I earning less money on my 32-day account? Then you can quickly just go and see when the Reserve Bank, at what date they changed interest rates and what the rates were. So default is on the repo rate. You'll probably use the prime rate rather. Once again, if some fields you can't do anything, even like this field here, let's say you want to change some internal control field here and save it, and you put it in your password, it will just say permission denied. So don't worry that you will change any data or get into any problems. I think the most important thing here is the protection of members' data. So the deposit and loan data, telephone numbers, addresses, that type of thing is sensitive information. So in your service level agreement that you sign as a legacy coach, there is a clause that addresses the whole aspect of the POPI Act to protect a member's information. So this is very, very important. You know, if it ever comes out that personal information is leaked or used for other purposes than what a legacy coach is supposed to leave it, we will stop your access to the system. So I can't stress this enough that you please need to just take care and use any data with integrity. So yeah, that is basically an overview of what you will be able to do and access on Mambu. Over to you, Jasper.